what's the problem with marketing and so-called gurus? Okay, I want to put this information in your hands because people unanimously say, I'm confused, right? I don't know where to start. I'm overwhelmed with all the options, and it's super overwhelming, and it seems like every day there's a new tactic, there's a new guru, there's a new course, there's a new algorithm, there's a new hack, there's a new tweak, there's a new hashtag, there's all these things that you can do, and it's super, super, super frustrating to watch people be frustrated and overwhelmed. But what if there was an actual formula that no one told you about? Well, there is. And we have something so exciting coming out where you could literally type in your keyword of the day, your shiny object of the day, your squirrel of the day, and you could, find out where that item falls in the shiny object spectrum, where it falls on the formula. So you could type in, oh my God, today I'm thinking I need to write an ebook, and you could type it in, and it will tell you exactly in this beautiful formula that consists of 5 phases exactly where it should go. So you can say, oh no, I don't want to do that right now. That's phase 5. I shouldn't be working on that right now. I need to be back at phase 1 because I didn't finish my research. So this is actually 22 years in the making. This works so well on every business and for every entrepreneur, no matter what stage you are at. So what if there was actually a formula that could just remove all your overwhelm, remove all your shiny object syndrome? I saw someone today say, I have $1,500 left to my name. What course should I buy? I'm like, oh my God, people have not been educated on the proper formula. It's insane how much confusion there is. And unfortunately, because there's confusion in our industry, there's sharks and scammers and fakes out there that are throwing the wrong bait in front of people and just trying to take their money. It's infuriating, and it's sad, and it's unethical, and it's criminal. So part of what I want to do is help clear up what's going on. So what if I also told you that this tool would explain to you everything else that you need to know about marketing your business, but in the right order? So not only would it say, oh, you want to work on a Facebook ad? That's actually phase 4 traffic. Here's the other things that you may or may not have done before that you should be focusing on. Now, I want to actually, and also, what if that formula guaranteed that you would have the most complete online and offline foundation so that your brand would be seen everywhere before ever paying for an ad? I've been online for 22 years and have never had to pay for an ad. I've dabbled when I came back from my accident with, I don't know, $50 or something. But for 22 years, I have lived off of this foundation formula that provides a ton of free traffic because I did all the right things, I did them in the right order, and it's the long-term game. We don't want to make $100,000 this week and then never make any money again. It's kind of like the one-hit wonder, right? We want to set ourselves up for the passive income that lasts for a lifetime until retirement, and we want to make that money come in all the time. Stability along with our freedom and our riches. I think that's all I have for the slides. I want to get into actually showing you how this formula works. So, just want to make sure I'm still on desktop view. Okay, there's a lot of information in here, but, and team, if people are asking questions, go ahead and drop them here in our group chat. I'll see it on my phone. Because I'm not looking at the Facebook comments right now, okay? That way I can get questions answered. And I just realized I didn't even get on camera. I will at the end to answer questions. So this formula, let's go back a couple steps right here. Research is phase number 1. And there's some main research items that you've probably heard of. You've probably heard of keyword research. You've probably heard of competitive analysis. You've probably heard of audience research, and even idea viability, which is how to research your idea or your product or your service or whatever you're thinking about bringing to market and having an audience purchase or sign up for, whatever you're doing. So there's some main research, market research, what's working out there, what's not. Is this something that's new and going to create another marketing term, a blue ocean, or are there people already purchasing it? Is it a narrow audience? Is there a wide audience for it? So, there's a research phase that has to happen. For some of you that might be boring, but this is what is going to set you up so that you can succeed, and you can succeed long term, and you can succeed in the cheapest way possible. You can either do some of this work yourself, you can outsource it, but instead of jumping right to phase 4 traffic, which so many people are promoting online right now, so many people are saying, just go run Facebook ads, just go get a couple clients and run an agency. Holy crap, that is some of the worst advice ever. Do Facebook ads work? Yes. Can they work overnight? Yes. Can you make some money with them right away? Yes. But if you are only focusing on that and you are not doing the whole formula and every piece of the formula and in the right order, you're going to be screwed. How many times have you heard people say, I lost my Facebook ads account, I lost my personal, I lost access to my Facebook business page which had 80,000 people on it? This happens all day, every day. All day, every day. I have people coming to me, oh my God, my client lost this. You have a hookup at Facebook? Can I do? Oh my God, you're an agency. You should know that there's a whole foundation to lie before you just jump into traffic. In my agency, we start at phase 1 and phase 4 simultaneously. Sometimes we'll test the market with a quick funnel and with some quick ads. But we do not neglect the other 4 phases of this 5-phase system. We don't jump right into traffic without explaining to the client that you need to do phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and it's the long game. It's going to take a lot of setup. It's going to take a lot of fixing to go back and redo your websites that you did wrong and your digital assets that were done wrong. But when you do the whole formula together, it's magic. So let's get into some of the meat and potatoes, and I'm not excluding information to trick you like a lot of people do. I am giving you some of the most important pieces and the pieces that you can wrap your head around on this Facebook Live. So, in the research phase, you have keyword research, and I use this as an example a lot because it's so important and it's going to make sense to you. When you do keyword research, either you can do it yourself if you want to go out and buy some of the keyword research tools that are out there, like Spy, SpyFi, SpyFu, SEMrush, Ahrefs. There's different tools out there, and if you're engaging in Google Ads, then you have access to their keyword planner. You can also decide that you just want some basic SEO to get your feet wet with this, and you can go to Fiverr, and for $5, $10, $15 you can order some keyword research to be done. You can spend 1 hour on it, you could spend 1 week on it, you can go as deep as you want. And all keyword research means is somebody is going to go use the tools that talk to Google and to some other sites and spit out a report that will tell you what your audience is looking for. So for example, if I was getting ready to build some software, right? I'm going to have some software keywords that are called seed keywords, and then we're going to pop them into the software, or we're going to let our keyword vendor pop them into software, and it's going to come out with a ton of other words that people are actually searching for, and it's going to tell us the different volume that people are searching for. So 74,000 people per month around the world are typing in online marketing into Google. Okay, so all it is some research based on what you think your audience is looking for. You pop it into some software, it spits out a spreadsheet, and it's a keyword research spreadsheet. So let's go use one that's actually easier to understand. Southern Scapes. This was just a small one-time client from years ago that is in landscaping. So it's easy for lots of people to understand landscaping. Let's go into keyword research and see what a keyword research, very basic. Now this is very basic keyword research, but for local companies, it's pretty easy to do this and to get their basic keywords. So let's see, and I'm not going to get into geo-targeted and high competitive and medium competitive and low competitive. That's all for Google Ads. But let's just look at these. Let's just look at these 13 keywords. Okay, so what came back was that, and there's more in here. Let's see. Okay, so there's more with more searches: landscape lighting, lawn lighting, residential landscape services, and then there was medium and low and competitors. But for this example, let's just look at this. Okay, keep it simple. Landscape lighting Florida, commercial landscaping Florida, landscaping services Florida. This is what people were typing in 2016. And where does this play out? Well, when people are typing something into Google, you need those keywords in your digital assets so the Google robots can come look at your website, read those keywords, report back to Google and say, hey, that Southern Scapes Florida website, they're talking about landscape lighting Florida. So if someone types landscape lighting Florida into our search bar, we should send them to that website. Okay? Now, you don't jump from phase 1 research into building a website, which is phase 3. You see that? Okay? Phase 1 is research. Phase 3 is building. There's a phase in between called planning. If you've ever, I know everybody listening to this has sat down one day to build something without planning it. I need a website. I'm jumping into WordPress. I'm jumping into Weebly. I got to go buy a domain. They didn't stop and breathe and plan the proper way. They just went into building, right? Crazy idea. Let's just do it. Shiny object. Squirrel. So, planning with your keyword research is going to look like this. Let's go to the next step. And again, there's other research sub-phases in here for competitive analysis. Actually, this had some competitors keywords in here. So here was a competitor, Emerald Coast Landscaping, so you get to know those as well. And you can do some audience targeting at this point to figure out, okay, where are people that want their yards landscaped? Where are they hiding out online? Now, I know here in Florida, we have local Facebook groups for all of our different neighborhoods, right? We have SWIP swaps, we have yard sale groups, we have community groups where neighbors are sharing information and keeping an eye out for their neighborhoods. So that would have been one of the revelations that we discovered during the audience research phase, sub-phase, so that we would know, okay, that's where they're hanging out. Oh, maybe they're also hanging out at the local pool store or shopping there because they have pools, and if they have a pool, they have a house, they have a yard, they have some money. So keyword research isn't the only part of the research phase, but it is one of the most important. So let's just move on to phase 2, which is planning. And I'm going to use the same client here. And let's go back to phase 2, which would be planning, because I want you to see how this plays out. Okay, now this might look overwhelming. I promise you, if you put your time into this before you go build your website, you will enjoy the fruits of your labor. You will enjoy free traffic for years to come. Okay, now you do have to feed the machine on occasion. You don't want stuff to die off, but this is a very basic website. As you can see in column A here, there's a home page, a landscaping page, a lighting page, an irrigation page, a CAD and design page, and a contact page. This is what we call a brochure website. It's very simple. It's meant to offer up their information, and it doesn't have a store, it doesn't have a membership, it doesn't have a shopping cart and all these other things. It's just meant to be a brochure, so when they hand out their business card, or their marketing materials has their website on it, people can come there, get some more information, and call them. Or if they have like a freebie in the header, which we'll get into, people can opt in for that. So for the purpose of a brochure website, this is a perfect example of what we call an SEO wireframe. Okay, this has actually been updated. SEO website wireframe, and we do this for funnels as well, and we do this for all the pieces of the website. If they have blog posts, if they have videos that are out on YouTube, we document all this, and we plan it before we build it, because the keyword is so important. So we decided 3 years ago at least that the home page focus keyword should be landscape design. Okay, and the focus keyword column comes from those of you that have used WordPress. You understand that there's a plugin for SEO called Yoast, Y-O-A-S-T, one of the most popular SEO plugins on the planet, and it makes it super easy. It says, what's your focus keyword for this page? And you pop it in there and it goes, well, you either did a really shitty job on having that focus keyword on this page, or you did a really good job. And when you did a shitty job, it gives you a red dot, and when you did a good job, it gives you a green dot, and when you did somewhere in between, it either gives you a yellow or an orange dot. Okay, so it will help you if you're building your website in WordPress to go through this. But every website builder has these fields somewhere in their website. So every time you build a website, you have the ability to add your SEO title and your SEO description into your website. Doesn't matter if it's Weebly or Wix or whatever. So when you plan this out first, you can see that landscape design is the focus keyword. Therefore, we put it first in the page title, and we put it first in the description. Now, I know some of you don't even know what an SEO title and an SEO description is. So let's show you. Let's go out to Google, and let's only pull up Southernscapes Florida. Oops, Florida. I'm not used to typing this. .com. I think that's their site, right? So that's a little trick. If you only want to see the site pages that you're looking for and what Google sees, you just type site : before any website. You can do this to any website. Your website, any competitor's website, doesn't matter. Okay, so we can see they have about 10 pages that Google robots are able to crawl. So these blue, I think they're blue on your screen as well, I'm highlighting it, these blue titles are the page title. So what you build into your website under the SEO page title field will show up right here in the Google search results. And what you put into the SEO page description, you get a little more characters, you get almost twice as much here, will show up beneath the URL in a description. Now this has to be updated, the characters have changed. Sometimes people's fonts are bigger, smaller, and it cuts it off. But this is what the robots come to see in your website when they start reading, literally from the top of the screen down. They will read what your page title says. Watch this. I'm going to click this page, and you can see any website's page title by putting your mouse. I hope you can see my mouse up here at the top of my screen. You can put your mouse over the tab. Oh, they need a fave icon. And you can see that they might have changed some of this too, but you can see the page title that pops up. I don't know if you can see the pop-up on your side on the Facebook Live, but what pops up when I put my mouse over it is landscape design, Florida landscaping, plans, contractor, CAD, irrigation. That's what the robots read, and they continue reading under the hood. They're reading in the code here, view page source, okay? The robots are reading all the stuff that was built into your website for any website, and they're reporting back. Now, again, this might seem like some basic information. Okay, Jen, you're talking about SEO, but watch how this is going to play out everywhere. Okay, so we understand that we did the keyword research. We got the keywords back from the SEO vendor. We mapped it out. We literally come in here, but before this is done, we do this. We type this. Let's say they wanted to add a new page for lighting. I know they have one above. Lighting testimonials. I cannot spell on my keyboard. And let's say that a keyword had come up that people were searching for, such as lighting reviews Florida. Maybe that came up as a keyword. So we would say, oh, look, people are searching for lighting reviews. So we're actually going to call this lighting reviews. And we're actually going to make the page URL the .com/lighting reviews. Okay, all matchy-matchy. Happy. And then in here it would be lighting reviews Florida. So you would map this is where your brain has to come in. Okay, you can pay an SEO vendor to do this. You can do this. You can put your thinking cap on and do this. Everybody can. And you see that as I typed, it counts down from 70 characters. It says I have 46 left because I didn't finish it. Okay. And then same thing over here, it'll count down from 156. You can put in call, and you can put in your number. We have the best lighting reviews. I'm doing this really sloppy. Don't do this word for word, right? But you get it. Once you do this, now you can go to phase 3, building, and actually build the website. And this SEO wireframe helps for any of you that have outsourced to other countries. Okay, the other countries are technical, right? So they can technically build you the WordPress install. They can apply a theme. They can go do what you want them to do, but they're not going to think this out for you. They're not going to think it out at all. And one of the little tricks I'm going to show you right now is that this keyword should be the image name. Image name. I can't tell which row. Actually, I can turn my laptop a little bit. So instead of like review Nancy123.ping, right? Nobody's searching for review Nancy123. People are searching for, in this example, lighting reviews Florida.ping. The importance of naming your images as keywords is because people actually search through images and find your digital assets through images. Now again, none of this is like mind-blowing or massive traction, but this is the perfect foundation formula to put yourself everywhere, so when you're sleeping, you can wake up to a few hundred more, hits to something that you didn't have to spend on an ad. Before we even get to ads, ads are great. Ads are great when you know what you're doing. They're great. All my clients pay us for ads. But let's just use the example of blue wedding cakes. I'm a bride, and I want to look at blue wedding cakes today. My theme is going to be navy blue on the beach, very nautical, Cape Cod. And so what you see here is that blue wedding cake images come up. There's no ads on the top. There's no ads on the right. There's three URLs that are Pinterest, which are image-based. So I might click this one and see one that I like, right? And then I go, oh, this is really cool. And if I had typed in, the reason I'm not typing in blue wedding cakes Jacksonville's not that advanced. I don't think they have a bunch of blue wedding cake bakeries here, so we're just going to pretend. But you get the idea. People click on an image and then they click visit site. I do this 10 times a day when I'm looking at images and going to somebody's site. So people are actually clicking from images. It brings more eyeballs to your digital assets. So even if somebody was typing in 2019 Ford Mustang in the local area, an image could come up if my local area Ford dealership had all their images named properly. An image would come up even on the search results, not even in the images, but in the search results. Let's see, 2019 Ford Mustang. I'm gonna put Jacksonville. Okay, no images are coming up right now. Way down here they are. But if the Coggan and Bozard, that's actually in St. Augustine, if these dealerships did their SEO properly, and I haven't seen a dealership do it properly yet, they would have a video that comes up, they would have some images that come up, they would just be flooding this keyword, okay, and they would actually come up. That's why I use the example of blue wedding cakes, because I know that's coming up. But again, naming your images with keywords is super important, and even when you upload an image to Facebook, Facebook looks at that file name. When you upload a video to YouTube, YouTube looks at that file name. They actually show you the file name that was on your computer before you uploaded it and gave it a new title. Okay, so it's super important to lay this foundation properly. So we've gone through keyword research, which is part of the research phase. It's one of the sub-phases of research. We've gone through planning, part of the planning phase, phase 2. There's more planning. In the planning phase, you would plan out your funnels, you know, in something like a blueprint. You would plan out your editorial calendar. This is an exciting one. But yeah, you would plan out your, damn, internet, I'm sitting right next to the internet, slowly loading. But you would plan out some funnels, you would plan out your editorial calendar, and your editorial calendar is something that's used by all the major magazines and outlets around the world, and a lot of companies, large companies. You map out your content for the next 12 months. Well, how many people actually map out their content on the fly? Oh, I'm going to sit down and do a Facebook Live today. What should I talk about? Holy crap. Now, we've all done it. Listen, I'm guilty of everything that you are guilty of. That's why I can tell you about these things and speak to them. I made all the mistakes, but along the way, I made a lot of right decisions and worked with a lot of big companies that had some right decisions in place, and when I put all those pieces together, they made this magic formula. So if you do your editorial calendar, which is again another spreadsheet based on what people are searching for. If people are searching for landscape lighting Florida, then one of your content pieces, one or more of your content pieces throughout the year should be a video and an article on landscape lighting Florida. I know that the landscaper and the landscape company could come up with some how-to video in a few minutes. You know, hey, here in Florida, it's really muggy and things rust and we have a lot of humidity and then there's bugs, and so here's a neat little trick for your landscape lighting Florida, okay? So when you do the research and you do the planning and you've got your perfect editorial calendar with all your social media planned out, you don't sit down and go, oh, I don't know how to write content. I don't know what I'm going to write about. Oh, this is so overwhelming. It's already done and figured out for you in the planning phase. We haven't even gotten into building. And do you see how much value there is here already and how many issues this is going to solve? So in the planning phase, you plan your website, you plan your funnel, you don't build it yet, you plan your initial Facebook ads if you're going to know you're going to jump into traffic and Facebook ads in phase 4 traffic. You build out your editorial calendar so you know what you're going to be talking about, and you can also build out your public relations landscape. You can build out your Dream 100 list, or as we used to call it back in the day, the A list. You can build out which podcasts and which people in your space, which influencers you should be in front of. Maybe you should be on one of their podcasts. Maybe you should be posted in their Instagram. And so again, the research and the planning maps all this out so you're not just running in circles and chasing shiny objects every day when you wake up. Okay, so you can plan all of this out. Mostly spreadsheets. So far, this is all spreadsheet work, and I know everybody can learn how to work in a spreadsheet. And it's in Google Drive. You can collaborate with your team. Everybody can jump in here. Building. Now, this building is one of my favorite phases because that's where you get to build stuff. And because I have an architectural degree, a drafting degree, I love when I can plan something in a blueprint and then see it come to life in a house. Okay, so the building phase is where you don't even necessarily need to think too much anymore. Your copywriting has been planned, all the pieces have been planned and figured out. The brain, a lot of the brain work has been done here. Okay, now you move into building. That's more of a manual thing. So let's use the architect and the building and the construction analogy. In the construction analogy, you want a 25,000 square foot home built for you. You go to an architect and an engineer, and you cover the research and the planning phase, and possibly even, oops, sorry, what did I just do? A kitchen designer. You do all the planning with the architect and the professionals that will build the blueprints first. You don't get into building your house until you go to a general contractor or a developer that will take the plans from phase 2 and then build them. Okay? It's the same thing in marketing and in your business. And to take that one step further, you don't go to a plumber and say, build me a 25,000 square foot home, right? That's the subcontractor. You don't go to a website designer and say, build me $1 million business. Okay, so you get into building after you've done all the brain work. That's why blueprints can cost so much, and things get cheaper as you go down the line, down the hierarchy. So building is where you're going to actually build your websites, build your funnels, build your social networks, build those initial videos and those initial emails and those initial social media posts with images. You're going to build all your digital assets. But again, you're not half-assing it, you're not crying at night, I don't know what to do next, I have 400 things to build, and I just have no method, and I listened to this guy yesterday, and now I've watched 14 YouTube videos, and oh my god, this is why you get overwhelmed. Ooh, I need power. Hold on 1 second. Plugging in. Let me plug in. I was trying to sit a certain way. Alright, we got juice. We're all good, team? We're all good? So, you can build your website if you have discovered in the research phase that you are going to rely heavily on organic free traffic and keywords and all the things and all the people, the 4 billion people that are out there engaging in the internet, then you're going to build in WordPress. If you do not need a ton of organic traffic, there's some industries where they literally have 5 clients a year, major clients, like governments, or people that have governments as clients, right? So they're working on only 5 projects a year, massive projects, like airport projects. They don't need to be found on the internet every day by thousands of people. They have a very small audience, and they know their audience, and they have them all in a Rolodex and spreadsheet, and they know exactly who they're talking to year after year to keep those bids going. Okay, so they don't necessarily need to be in WordPress and to have a ton of organic traffic. But for most of us, we love organic traffic. Your organic sites need to be in WordPress because Google robots love WordPress, and you can really get your organic SEO done there. All right, so we got building. Now, traffic. Oh, and just as a little side note, you don't have to build in WordPress if you don't want to, because it's a big learning curve. I use Weebly. It's like my dirty little secret. And I remember when a few years back, when I was coming back from my accident, I was off for 3 years, and I was talking to a business colleague, and he said, oh, you should just build some sites in Weebly and get some quick cash. And I was like, oh, excuse me? But I'm a professional. I use WordPress. And he had to drill it into my head that, there's not just one tool for the job. And while I had been off from my accident for 3 years, some of these CMSs, content management systems, had actually kind of risen to the surface and improved themselves. And Weebly was one of those tools. And actually, I'm so glad that he introduced me to Weebly, because I can charge anywhere from $500 to $5,000 for a Weebly website and get it done in roughly the same amount of time. Now, at the 5,000 end, it's usually a store, you know, or something more involved, and at the 500, it's usually like a charity website where I just want to get it done for somebody. But Weebly is great. Weebly is my dirty little secret for people that want a fast website. It is so fast that you can get a website up in under an hour. Hey, there's Eli. But these, you know, they have video backgrounds, they have, it's super easy. It's even easier than Wix. I like it better than Wix or Homestead or any of those others. Really love it. Yeah, they have video backgrounds built in. I happen to have a picture right here. You can edit pictures right inside. It's truly drag and drop. It's super easy. If companies like ClickFunnels and Weebly got married and had a baby, game over. Okay, so love it. Anyway, just wanted to show you that. And I don't have it on this site. I can embed my ClickFunnels opt-in page. I can embed the code into the header, and then the freebie is right here. So for those of you that don't know about sales funnels, that's going to be a whole other Facebook Live. But the whole point of the internet and everything we do with research and planning and building and traffic, the whole point, besides making money, is to build your email list. And some people are going to think, oh, really? I thought email was dead. Okay. Every multimillionaire on the internet has an email list, and they know the power of the email list. And they don't tell you all the time because they don't want you to steal from their email list and dilute their list and bring them over to your list. So there's a stat out there that Mr. Brunson quoted, and I don't know if it's accurate, but he said, even if you're not doing everything right, if you have 10,000 people on your email list, you can count on $10,000 per month from internet money. Now, why? Because if you do like so many people are doing and jump right to phase 4 traffic and listen to all these overnight fakey fake liars telling you, just go run a Facebook ad, just go run a Facebook ad, you're paying Mark Zuckerberg for his traffic. But if you have your own traffic and you have 10,000 people on your email list and you're constantly sending them some nice valuable information so they like you, they know you, they trust you, and a portion of them actually open your email, you will know pretty quickly that right away, every time you push the button to send an email or schedule a campaign, you'll be making money. The goal is to own your own list, own your own traffic, have your own tribe. You keep hearing these buzzwords, but this is the bonk over the head. If for those of you that have been doing this for 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, and you're in the same stuck spot, it's because you didn't grow your list. And I know some of you come to me and say, yeah, I know, I didn't grow my list. Then why aren't you dropping everything today and stopping everything this week and setting up your list so that a year from now, whether you have 100 or 1,000 or 10,000 people on your list, you have your list. That's mind-boggling. When I came back from my accident and looked back at the number one mistake I made over the past 15, 20 years, it was not nurturing my list. I had set up my lists, and I had, I don't know, 250,000 people on there, coming and going. I never actually kept them warm. I never sent them constant value. I never, I would have them coming in from applying to work with me. I just didn't pull it all together. That's a huge mistake because I could have been retired and making $10 million a year, or month right now because of that list. I knew all the things back then. I've been building sales funnels since the beginning. I knew what I should do. And so when I came back from my accident, the commitment was, oh, hell no, I'm not going to make those mistakes again. It's all about the list. Because not only do you have an email list that you own, you have a list that you can now upload to Facebook when you do decide to engage in phase 4 traffic, and you do decide to, more specifically, pay for a paid ad. Then you can upload your email list in a spreadsheet format. You can upload that to Facebook Business Manager and say, hey, here's 4,000 people that opted into my list who like my stuff. Go find me 40,000 more that have the same type of buying habits. Okay, and Facebook will do that. It's called a lookalike audience. And there's other areas that you can use this list. But I cannot tell you how much it is about the list. Yes, it's about making money. But what if everybody stopped by your thing? You did a massive launch and you know, a flash mob, and you promoted for 3 days, and everybody stopped by your thing and bought a $1,000 course today, and you never had them on your list. They're gone. They're absolutely gone. You have no way to get to them. Yeah, you might have the Facebook Pixel code embedded there. You might have the Google Analytics code embedded on those pages. Yeah, of course, I mean, silly example, because if they bought something from you, you probably have their credit card and their name and their phone number and their email address. But if people are just stopping by your site and not dropping off their email address on a freebie or some type of webinar registration or something, they're just driving by. They're just coming and going. And you've not trapped them with your bait, which is your freebie, which is the beginning of your funnel. Sales funnels. No business can survive without a sales funnel, and no business can survive long term without this perfect formula and growing their email list. Now, traffic, this is where all your shiny objects live. Traffic is everything you see on the internet. It's Facebook, it's Instagram, it's Pinterest, it's YouTube, it's Reddit, it's LinkedIn, it's TikTok. It's all these things. It's your website, actually, because this is where the human beings live online, right? They're engaging there. We call them ponds. It's where the fish are swimming in the ponds and the oceans. But if you didn't research, plan, and build, why are you jumping into traffic? Why are you jumping into creating a YouTube video if people are going to stop by and see your video and you don't have anything to send them to? You don't have any freebie to give to them. You don't have any email list built to get them on. It's sheer insanity. So when we're doing an audit of somebody's digital assets, we draw this out so that they get it. This is just a sample. Let me see if I can make this a little full screen for you. This is just a sample of a very small blueprint, meaning these white boxes right here are funnel steps. This is a landing page. What can I give you for free? This is landing page 2. Thank you. I love you so much. Here's your free thing. Now go join my Facebook group. Or if you have better things tacked onto that, like go book on my calendar, or pick up the phone and schedule an appointment, or register for my webinar. But at the very least, you need the landing page and the thank you page connected to your email. MailChimp is free up to the first 2,000 contacts on your email list. And, you know, a very basic, here's your thank you email, and then just write 3 emails if nothing else. Hey, thanks for being on my list, a little bit more about me, here's my story, here's my great thing, you know, and just warm them up and keep them warm. But the reason I came to this blueprint is, look at all these pink triangles on the left. Let's look at these. This is your traffic. This is phase 4. Okay, in phase 1, 2, and 3, you've built the landing pages. You've connected ClickFunnels and whatever else is in there. You've connected your MailChimp. You have a few basic emails in there until you can write more emails. But this is all phase 4. Your website traffic sends them to the freebie. Your Facebook page, the cover on your Facebook page, the posts on your Facebook page, sends them to the freebie. Your Facebook group should give them a freebie in the pinned post. Your Facebook ads should point to the freebie, the clickbait, the lead magnet, the minimum viable product, the MVP, the PDF, whatever you want to call it. You've all seen it, right? Google Ads. This is an intake visual for our salespeople in the field. They can jot it down really quickly. LinkedIn, put it in your cover image. Put it in your post. Get my freebie. You're offering value. Your Instagram has a bio, and you can put one link in there. The link is the freebie. Your Twitter, your tweets can go to the freebie, not all of them. Your bio can link to the freebie. Just because the bio says in Twitter, in your profile, what's your website, doesn't mean you have to put your website. Put any URL. I think I put a URL in the location field in Twitter. You know, for my city. I think I have a URL to a freebie or something. YouTube, your cover image should have the freebie. Your pinned video, your featured video on YouTube, can say, hey, I got a freebie for you, here it is, grab it, and in the description it links to the freebie. Why? Because all these people are now getting your thing and getting on your list, and your list is growing and growing and growing and growing. That means your bank account is growing. Your Snapchat, snap to the freebie. Your email list, again, if they've only done this thing, but you have some other funnels or some other things to sell or some webinar to get them on, the email software will do that for you. It will nudge them to get on the next thing and go up your value ladder and make you more money. Your podcasts. How many times, so for those of you that have spoken, that have been an invited guest to a podcast or an invited guest to a Facebook Live or invited to speak on stage, one of the things they ask you is, what's your gift? What do you give away for free? Because a lot of stages, virtual and in person, won't let you sell from the stage, but they will let you offer value. They will let you give away a gift, a freebie, get my free book, do this, right? So you better be prepared. You don't engage in podcasts, which is phase 4, traffic. You don't, oh, every time I click that, that's funny. You don't engage in phase 4 traffic podcasts until you've actually built the freebie. Okay, I hope this helps you understand the order of the internet. I've literally organized the internet for the past 22 years in my project management system. So all these things work, but they only work if you go in the right order, or you're gonna I don't want to use the term kill yourself. You're gonna stay up late at night stressing if you're trying to do all these things in the wrong order. When you get invited to do interviews, you have the freebie. I didn't connect all these little arrows. I like my rounded arrows. Whoop. Okay? Audience communities. So let's say you're engaging in Reddit or a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group or I don't know, even your local communities, your meetups, your church communities. And someone comes up to you and says, gee, I really, you're a real estate agent. Gee, I'm really looking for a house. I really don't know where to start. Oh, hey, let me jot down this URL or send it to your cell phone. I have a freebie for, top 20 homes under $200,000 in your zip code. Have your stuff built before you engage in all this traffic. Sales channels. That just means other people or other businesses that have your audience. So for example, if Weebly, the CEO of Weebly, wanted to get in front of Vistaprint's audiences, Vistaprint was well known for business cards. Of course, now they actually build their own websites, so that would never happen. But let's assume they didn't build websites, and Weebly wanted to make a joint venture deal with Vistaprint. Well, Vistaprint already has the small business audience because they know they're building business cards for them. So you too have sales channels that you can figure out in your business to connect to after you've built your things. Okay, so I really, team, I know you have been watching this, and I want to know if there's any questions on the Facebook Live. I'm pretty wrapped up. I'm going to move into the last section here. So we understand traffic. There's organic traffic and there's free traffic. So all the social media posts you do during the day, that's going to be some of your organic traffic because you don't have to pay for it. You just have to pay with your time. But again, it should come after research, planning, and building. So I think everybody understands traffic. There's a lot of traffic sources out there. You could do solo ads, but again, that's paid. You could pay an influencer to get in front of their Instagram audience. That's paid. How do you save that money? You build your email list. You have your own traffic. All right, now phase 5 reports. That is where you look at everything. So you've got your Google Analytics, you've got your Facebook Pixel tracking stuff, you've got metrics to look at in your shopping or your payment processor for what you've sold, all the numbers, all the traffic, all the key performance indicators, all the things that worked, all the things that didn't work. That's what happens in phase 5 reports and analytics. There's a new tool out there called Funnelytics, which is making this easier. And you can you can do this yourself, or you can outsource it to somebody to crunch some numbers for you. So that is the Goodwin method. It's officially called because it is my 22-year method of all the steps that are organized into these 5 phases, these 5 main phases. Now there are many steps, but when you do them in the right order, then everything just works flawlessly. Does anybody, there's no questions? Good to move on? Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up because we're right at about an hour. And let me just check my phone one more time. I think we're good. I think we're good. Nobody has questions. That must have been very informative. I must have really cleared everyone up. Good, the whole internet is cleared up. You're welcome.